Love this guy, man. Love his television show, even though it's gotten very, very dark this year. It's as terrific a program as there is on television. It's called Barry, and it airs Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern on HBO, available for streaming on HBO Max the next day as well. And then also, by the way, we had Stephen Root on just a few weeks ago, correct? He plays Fuchs.
Correct.
And we have Henry Winkler on next week. That's how it shows you how much we love this program. The Primetime Emmy Award winner for lead actor in this very comedy series, twice over, is back here on the Rich Eisen Show. Bill Hader. How you been, Bill?
Hey, how are you guys? Pretty good.
How's that? How was that introduction? Did I get it verbatim as I got it from your people? Did I get that right?
Yeah. Just so you know, the show gets way darker.
Oh my God! So here's the deal. I've got 3 small children. Well, not so small.
They should not be watching.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They should not be anywhere near it.
They're 13, 11, and 8. So my wife and I have to make sure that they're not only in bed but staying in bed, and they're way out before it. So. I'm through. We're through episode 4 of this season.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm a couple behind, but I can already sense though that
it just gets so much worse.
Well, I could sense that midnight is kind of struck for Barry in terms of trying to live this double life. It's just not working out anymore.
Yeah. It gets way worse. I mean, that's the funny thing when the season finale. We have this very nice guy who does who is a colorist on the episodes, which is in post-production, and he said, usually it takes me a day with one of these episodes, but the finale took him a couple of days because he kept on having to take breaks.
Really?
It was too intense. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, because there are some moments again where it looks like you've got to go to a particularly dark place. I mean, how are you getting to that place, Bill? Do I have to be genuinely concerned here?
I don't know. Oh no. I mean, it's just you're playing the character, and
right.
It's only a matter of time before the guy everything starts coming to a head. So it was always. I feel like since the series started. What you're seeing has always been underneath, and I think when we started reading or writing season 3, it was like, okay, now this stuff can all start coming to the surface because he's cornered, So you're kind of seeing the real guy. But yeah, people going, oh, Barry's so mean and he's so awful, and I'm going, well, he's kind of always been this way. It's like he killed his best friend, for doing nothing. In the first season, I mean. He's not a good guy.
Well, and I kind of like sometimes too, Bill, the commentary on this town and this business as well that lurks and bubbles beneath the surface and sometimes pops up that a psychopath could be a successful actor in this town and get gigs and get parts. And then, I've been enjoying just a little stroll down history of, again, the Henry Winkler character, the acting coach, now former acting coach, in Mr. Cousineau, running into other people from his acting career who despise him, including Joe Mantegna. That was a great little cameo.
Mantegna is a great guy. He's in episode 5 as well, and he is the greatest guy. Huge Cubs fan. We just talked about the Cubs, and just one of the nicest guys on the planet. He played golf with Michael Jordan once, and I got to ask him about that, and I don't know, he's just... and he was like, can I improvise? And I said, yeah, do whatever you want. He goes, doing all those mammoth plays, you can't change a word. And I was like, oh, right. You originated, Richard Roma and Glengarry Glen Ross. I mean, the guy's, he's a legend, so that we were really excited to have him there.
Was he ever, did you meet him on SNL? Did you guys go back to?
The first time I ever met him was when I called him and said, would you be interested in playing yourself? Because, a lot of actors don't want to play themselves, which is totally understandable.
Sure.
And he, I was like, are you comfortable with this? And he, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll do it.
And so why'd you choose Joe Mantegna? How did that come about?
It kind of was perfect. Sherry Thomas, our casting director, we had this part. We said it would be great if you ran into somebody that Cousineau came up with who made it,
Yes.
And we had a list of people, and on that list was Joe Mantegna, and we just went, yeah, Joe Mantegna, he'd be amazing, and would he do it? And then he was so game and so played it so real, you know. He didn't try to push the comedy or anything, and he was really great.
But the restraining order that he needed that's not real, Bill. I mean, he needed a restraining.
Well, having him, Henry Winkler, and Fred Melamed on set one day was just one of the most fun things ever, because those guys have so many stories, and they've been around for so long and just been working forever, and they were so funny together. It was just fun having them, those three guys in a scene together.
Again, because so cool. You know, and Bill Hader here on the Rich Eisen Show, we're talking about Barry, Sundays 10 p.m. Eastern on HBO. I can't get past, even though he's so terrific in this, and I do get lost in the scene. So I'm not telling any terrible tales out of school here, but I mean, this is the Fonz, right? I mean, like, that's the end all be all. And he's just one of the sweetest people in real life, Henry Winkler.
Oh, yeah, he
right?
really is so nice. He brings food to the set, even though there's, tons of food.
Wait a minute. He brings his...
I go, like, Henry, we have a whole craft service truck. And he goes, I know, but Stacy, my wife, she made this cake. And the crew has to have just a little piece of it, He is just so, and he's always, he said one time, if you have like a disagreement with him, how to play a scene, and we had a couple, and I go, no, Henry, I really think it's this, and it never gets tense. He just kind of states his piece of, I feel like it should be this, and I go, I hear you, but I think for the purpose of this, maybe go this way with it, and let's try it, just give me a shot this way and just see how it feels. And he'll do it, and then he'll come over to me and hug me, and he goes, within your structure is freedom.
Sounds like a fortune cookie.
Yeah, it was like a fortune cookie. I was like, right. Thank you.
That is fantastic. You got a good story at all that he's told that sticks out in your mind?
Well, I will say for Happy Days, the thing that was wild was we were shooting the ending of season 2 where he sits up in bed and realizes, that Barry, killed, or that Fuchs is saying Barry killed Janice Moss, his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And we were shooting that scene, which is the last shot of the whole season, and we're trying to make it work. And that was when he chose the moment, because we were on stage 19 at Paramount, and he said, this is where we did Happy Days. And the whole place just went dead silent. And I said, say that again? He goes, this is where we did Happy Days. And immediately, what do you think the first thing everybody said was?
Can you turn the lights out by just hitting the wall or something like that?
Where's the jukebox? Where was the jukebox?
I was close.
Where was it? Yeah, exactly. And he goes, I'll show you. And we took a 45-minute break, which was a lot, where everybody just walked around, and he walked us and just painted the picture of what the Happy Days set, and goes, I would stand here, and then I would, and there's the audience and everything, and we just were like, to me, he was television. It was like Mickey Mouse and the Fonz. Like, it was like, as a kid, I was like, oh, that's like your TV. And then there he is. And he'll go into Fonzie sometimes, and when he does, you're just like, what's happening? And I'm his boss.
Right. What's happening? I believe a different ABC show at the time. But
what's happening was a totally different era.
Yes, it definitely was.
Shout out to rerun.
Next season on Barry, we're going to get the whole cast back.
Bill Hader here on the Rich Eisen Show. So your co-creator and collaborator on this is Alec Berg, who has a history of terrific comedy from obviously Silicon Valley, most recently Curb, Seinfeld, and things of that nature. I am friendly with him, and I said, you were coming on today, and I'm like, what should I ask him? And he sent me just one line back on an email, Bill, saying, ask him to do his Hawaiian accent.
Hawaiian accent?
Yes.
Oh, what? Oh, you know what? We have a guy named, and maybe some of this guy named Gavin Kleintop, who's our first AD, who I love, and he's from Hawaii. But forever we thought he was from New York. Because he talks like, all right, guys, here we go. Like, he's very, like, blunt and to the point, and then you're like, "Where'd you grow up?" And he's like, "I grew up on Makalaka Street." And we just that was
That's
the
it?
bit that we would do. It was just more of like a New York accent, but being like, "Hey, when I grew up on the island, you know."
No kidding. I had no idea.
It wasn't that funny. And I apologize if that.
No, don't apologize for anything. Alec Berg should be a better producer than that, man.
No, yeah, Alec. I think a better. Alec. Wait, weren't you the one telling me that Alec, when he putts, uses like a big telescope?
No, what I told you is there's a a device where you can tell on the golf course how far you're currently standing from the flagstick. I mean, it's and it's a device that people use after they've driven the ball. They're 200 yards out or 180 yards out, and actually does help decide which club to use in order to make sure you get the green. He used it when he's standing 10 feet from the hole. That's when he started. Like, he's standing there on the edge of the green. He's on the apron right there, and it's just like 20... It's maybe a 20-foot chip, and he's standing there with this. And I just turn. I'm like, really? Like, are you really doing that? Like, I only human I've ever seen do that, ever.
Yeah, he's an interest. Yeah, he's an interest. That totally tracks. The thing everybody at Barry right now is obsessed with, sports-related wise, that whole Jock Pederson getting hit thing.
It is my favorite.
I don't know if he understands. Like, because I'm friends with John Boy. So I keep texting him going, "What's happening?"
Right.
So he texts me stuff. And then Ryan Johnson, the director, like, there's so many vast people, friends of mine, who are all you have sending me, have you seen this? Like, not even like baseball fans, just going like, "This is the craziest, weirdest thing." And then we all kind of looked at the meme that he sent, and we were all kind of fascinated by, like, that pissed him off.
But Bill, I think the thing that, because trust me, we have parsed this out.
I don't know. So what am I missing? Are you guys surprised by this? Or?
We have parsed this out like it's the biggest story in the history of sports. Okay, because it is. But by the way, it's not because we're bored and we're trying to pass the time until football starts. But no, this truly is one of the greatest sports stories of all time. Because I don't know what fascinates me more, the fact that this was a fantasy football argument that then a meme within the chat got things sideways, or the fact that he's been sitting on this spite for 7 months and on site slaps him.
On site. The video of him hitting him, to me, looks like an elementary school fight. And then Jock Pederson, when he's showing the thing, he's dressed like a third grader.
Because he's got a knapsack on. Yeah.
There's something very and he's so kind of contrite about it, and like, I don't know. But and him describing the meme is one of the most surreal and funny things I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it had like Stephen Wright delivery. It had that cadence and sort of underscored aspect, but then the hat looking askew, like Bazooka Joe is like the look he had.
It really was like I expected him to take a stick and a tire and be like, "All right, guys, see you later," and then run off. Like a little, like our gang was like, "Hey, Jock, come on."
And then all of a sudden we find out Mike Trout is the commissioner, like one of the most famous baseball players on planet Earth.
And he's like, "I'm out. I don't want to talk about this." He's like, "I can't talk about this."
There's nothing better. It just gets better.
It really hits so many facets where you're like, what? Because I don't know that much about baseball, but I have been asking friends, and everybody is just going like, okay, I got to, it's one of those things when you text, "Hey, can you explain this Pham-Joc fight?" And it's the next text is, "Let me call you."
It's too much to type.
I can't even text this.
It's too much to type. So
I can't text it. Let me just call you.
So we handled it the only way we could, which is to come up with the top 10 fantasy team names with the word "fam" in it to piss him off even more. We came up.
I wouldn't want to make that guy bad.
I know. Wham, wham, bam. Thank you, fam. Another one was Fam Goes the Dynamite. That's our favorite one. We
Silence
did
of the Fam.
Silence of the Fams.
Family Feud.
Family Feud.
Brian Kelly's Family.
That's good. Yep. If it's basketball, Jock Fams Volume 1.
I do not like green eggs and Fam.
Yeah, we did it all. We did it all. We just kept going and going because it's too much. It's too good. It's too good.
I'm nervous for you guys. Yeah, I wouldn't want to make that guy mad.
I don't want to get slapped.
Yes.
The video does look like you're on a playground and you should yell for a teacher or something. Going like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Mrs. Jenkins.
So you guys are all talking about it in the Barry community.
It's become the editors, post people, writers.
Fantastic.
Our producer, who doesn't care anything about baseball, everybody's just like, "Did you see this?" Can we get to the bottom of this? And I was like, "This is wild."
It sure is, man.
Just every step of it is like if you put it in a comedy, you would go, "Oh, but we can't dress him like a third grader."
I mean, this would have to be like if SNL was in season, this would have to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you couldn't do it. It's like it's done.
It's
like, how do you satirize this?
It is done. It's
done.
true.
It's like going like cook the turkey. The turkey's cooked.
You can't improve on it.
It's like we're served it.
Oh
my
God.
Done.
Well, Bill, congrats on another amazing season of Barry.
Thanks, bud.
Is there a season 4, do you think, or what?
Yeah, we're working on the season 4 right now, and
okay.
that starts shooting in a couple months, yeah.
Well, it's fantastic. I'm so happy about that. I can't wait to finish the end of this season and then see season 4.
Way far away. It gets very dark, so keep them away.
Definitely make sure that they're in bed. We'll wait 15 minutes, a nice 15-minute grace period, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, please.
You take care of yourself, Bill Hader. Thanks again for the call, brother.
You guys.
Thanks again. There's Bill Hader, everybody.
Bill Hader is one of the goats.
Yeah, he is.
Amazing.
I love that. He's like, "Did you see this?" And you send in the text, "Did you see this thing?" And I'll call you.
Let me call you.
It's like, I can't even be bothered to type this out. I have to speak this to you.
It would be one of those things, like, it would be so long.
Oh, my gosh.
Talk to text. No, I got to.
Every time he's on, my sides hurt. I just laugh. He giggles,
I got to,
too.
massage my cheeks
Oh, my gosh.
after.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.